Nachi from a mosque, and he will tell you the truth. Nachi free. Anita Sarkeesian, Donald Trump, and authoritarian personality types. Let's talk about them. This is not one of my typical videos. I didn't even bother using my good camera for it because I wasn't sure if it was worth making a video about Anita Sarkeesian. Hopefully this is the first and last video where I ever invoke her name. But it is worth talking about because these personality types don't just come from the left, they also come from the right. And we're seeing this with Donald Trump. And I'll get to Donald Trump a little later. For any family and friends who have no idea who Anita Sarkeesian is, you don't need to. And I hope you never do need to know who she is. I hope she fizzles out like a bad fart from the public consciousness. Or that she just changes. She changes her behavior, and let alone her ideas. Okay, look, I don't want to insult the woman, okay? Look, a little bit of background for anyone who may not know who she is and you're bothering to still watch this video. She's a young feminist who's got some influence, and she's got terrible ideas. She actually, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm paraphrasing here so I don't get sued for libel or slander, she's actually said that supposedly men are not really physically stronger than women, that's just a gender construct. What? If she really did say that, she's clearly not a scientist. She's clearly not even all that observant. She's being fueled by her resentment, and God knows why. But she clearly has a problem with men, particularly white men. And she's not even black. That's the other thing. I mean, there's a, I was about to say a mental disease going on in society right now with this whole thing. Sorry, I think I got someone in my eye. With this whole thing about, white cisgender male privilege bullshit. What it really is, aside from being somewhat of a mental virus, it's just, this is how society is adjusting itself. And right now, before, especially under the presidency of George W. Bush, there was a lot of conservatism and a lot of right-wingism, and it then shifted over to Obama, okay? And now we're still feeling like the backwash of all that fucking, because it's like a pendulum that just fucking swings left and right. And that's how society calibrates itself. And I like to think that, eventually, it'll just stop swinging and we'll hit a center. And that center will be reality. And that's the problem with people like Anita Sarkeesian. She bends reality. She creates false narratives like that, like saying that men are not necessarily stronger than women. It's just a gender role or construct. And as much as I want to insult her, as much as I want to call her a castrating cunt, I want to keep this classy. And plus, insults get us nowhere, But the reason why the words castrating cunt come to mind is because of the way that Boogie2988 reacted to her. And Boogie2988 is a very prominent YouTuber who I want to speak with respect on the guy, because I have respect for him. I don't follow his videos, but I have stumbled into some of his videos, especially whenever I've tried to look up things on YouTube analytics and how to make money off this, because I'll be honest, look, I'm an egomaniac too, okay? I'm an attention-seeking glory hound, just like Anita Sarkeesian and God knows Donald Trump. But my ego does know its bounds. And those bounds for my ego are other people's rights. See, I would never dream of curtailing anybody's rights, especially when it comes to expression, just to protect myself from criticism. And that's what she has done. And she's taken it as far as the United Nations. And of course, the United Nations is going to be like, yeah, please tell us more. How can we actually regulate speech and stifle people? Because the United Nations is made up of many authoritarian personality types. Because out of the 193 or 195 countries that make up the United Nations, almost half of them are dictatorships. Of course, they're going to welcome Anita and her fucking silencing agenda with open arms. And of course, it's all going to be under the veil of, hey, let's protect people's feelings. And if she went to the United Nations to talk about death threats and actual harassment, of people coming to her house and doxing her and stuff, okay, but it's not. In one of her, I'll never forget some of her words, it's like, it's about the daily grind of being told you suck. What do you expect? You're in the public eye. But I think I know what she expects, because as an egomaniac myself, I also know what it's like to have, it's not delusions of grandeur, it's grandiose thinking. There's a big difference. Delusions of grandeur is when you think you're like Napoleon or Jesus Christ. Grandiose thinking is when you think, oh my God, I'm going to be rich and famous because I'm just fucking awesome and everybody really needs to listen to everything I say and stuff. I know, I relate to that shit. Why do you think I'm fucking on YouTube? And I get it, but like I said, my ego knows its bounds. Like I don't care to fucking trample on other people's rights. I know my place in society, and some people just don't. You know, and then that's the amazing thing. They can get pretty far. And if we don't want to see someone like Anita Sarkeesian becoming the president of the United States like Donald Trump has, we need to be able to identify this behavior. And with what's going on with Donald Trump, that's got to be fucking called out. The fact that he's actually tweeting about Mika Brzezinski from the show Morning Joe, which I love that show. I've watched that show for years. And I agree. She's not very high IQ. Okay, let's see that. I watch Morning Joe because of Joe Scarborough, not because of Mika Brzezinski. I watch Morning Joe despite Mika Brzezinski. Okay, and I don't want to knock her either. Okay, and especially since her father passed away, this is not about bashing her or anything like that. But I get the whole low IQ remark and stuff. But for Donald Trump to be tweeting about this, he should not be wasting his time with this shit. I want to see more tweets about healthcare and how we're going to finally solve this problem. I want to see tweets about price transparency when it comes to healthcare. I want to see tweets about opening the competition to health insurance. Okay? I want to see a tweet about why did, under the Affordable Care Act, under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, why did they make it illegal for people to buy cheap insurance or catastrophic insurance? Why did they make it that now a single male, like if you're a male, in your insurance policy there has to be something about pregnancy and birth control? Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we finally solve the runaway costs of healthcare in this country, which can be solved? It really can. It's not a Herculean task. It really is not that difficult. It really isn't. It's just there's way too many interests in the way. There's way too many other authoritarian types that are getting in the way of making healthcare affordable for people. And I am not of the Bernie Sanders mentality. I believe healthcare is a right and I'm entitled to your time if you're a doctor or a nurse. No. But it's just, I look at it more from a pragmatic point of view, and this can be solved. It really isn't that difficult. But anyway, I'm going on a little too long. I didn't even want to edit this video, but I want to buttress the point that other people are making. But not everyone needs to be making this point, even Anita Sarkeesian herself. We need to be careful with authoritarian personality types, whether they're from the left or from the right. We need to learn how to, identify them and spot them. And the telltale sign is the fact that they are so allergic to criticism. They just can't take criticism. Okay? These are the people we need to watch out for, especially when they start infringing upon our rights, let alone our right to the freedom of expression. I hope this makes sense. I hope it was worth your while. Go ahead and tell me I'm full of shit in the comments down below, because that's how I learn. And thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe by clicking on my face. And if you want to support this channel, click on the Patreon logo or donate via paypal.me/homegrown.